This is a recording of a competitive game of bolt action. It is Michael against Michael. Michael Fie is a part of the Danish WTC team, and his opponent Michael C is as well. Michael Fie is using a Polish tank platoon, and Michael C is using his Soviet tank platoon. This is a part of the training for the WTC in 2023. It will be released after the WTC, so operational security and all of that. So I'll go through the lists first, and then I will sort of do sports commentator style, talk you through the game. Right, let's go and see. Here we go. So I'll just up the size a little bit. Michael Fie's Polish list is 15 order dice. It's got a 9-man regular lancer unit. It's got 2 8-man regular lancers, and it's got an inexperienced light howitzer. It's got inexperienced MMG team. Yes, I know. It's weird, isn't it? But it's a matter of getting extra units in that can contest and hold objectives. The WTC don't allow any vehicles to do that. It's got an inexperienced medium mortar, a regular marksman, an inexperienced truck, inexperienced horse tow, and 5 regular tankettes, the Polish one with the light autocannon. So that is his list. Michael C is using his Soviet 16 order dice. He's got 2 10-man Mongolian cavalry squads with anti-tank grenades. These were absolutely terrifying in his game the day before against me. They absolutely wrecked my army. And then he has 2 inexperienced dog teams, an inexperienced Katusha, a inexperienced horse tow, a regular sniper, a free squad, an inexperienced light mortar team, 2 inexperienced jeeps, 2 regular jeeps, an inexperienced truck, and 2 regular dakka stuarts and a commisar. Those are the lists. Let's go and watch the game. So Michael Fie has won the roll-off to place the objectives. They are playing key positions. And they've rolled 4 objectives, so they're placing 2 each. Michael places the first behind the forest. Michael C is complaining about the list. He dislikes lists that have all recce, and he is wondering what to do. And now he's taking a huge gamble. He places his objective on the same side as Michael Fie's. Michael places another objective behind the forest on the other side. So Michael Fie is trying to, and here he goes. Here Michael C, he loads one side up, and he's betting massively here. He is betting that he will win the roll-off, the most important roll of this game. If he gets the right side, if he gets to choose sides, and he does! He wins, and he of course picks the sides with 3 objectives. Now this is going to be an uphill struggle for Michael Fie. He is now needing to go and at least get 1 of the objectives or contest 2 of the objectives or all of them on Michael Christensen's side. So this was a huge gamble, and it might actually have cost him the game. It was a 50-50 gamble. Michael Christensen might have lost the game in the first dice roll here. I would not recommend any other players to do this. Michael did it because he was fairly certain that he was going to lose the game if it was just a straight up fight in the middle. Because Michael Fie's Polish are really good at clearing out infantry, and they are very, very hard to kill because they have escape reactions, all of them. They're reading up on the mission. Of course, it's key positions. You can have a maximum of half your army in first wave. The rest needs to go in reserve. You can outflank if you want to. None of these players did so, and it doesn't really make sense once you look at the objectives, right? The objectives are really centrally placed on the table. So, and they are thinking about forward deployment as well. It is allowed. That's one of the things that is unclear in some packs, whether or not forward deployment is allowed. Right now, Michael C is setting up on his right side what units he wants to go in reserve, what units he wants on the table to start with. So he starts with his 2 inexperienced jeeps, a light mortar, commisar, stuart, and his Katuchka. Michael Fie, he needs to put 7 of his units on the table. So that is his howitzer, his mortar, his anti-tank rifle. Did I mention he had an anti-tank rifle? I don't recall. And I think his marksman, his horse tow, and his truck. They roll off. Michael gets to place the first forward deployer. Right. Fie sets up his sniper, his marksman. Both of the snipers are regulars. So does he want to take the duel, or will he deny the duel? By the way, the hedges in the center, they've ruled those as being too high for infantry to see across, and hard cover because there's stones at the bottom. He sets up his sniper behind the forest here. Michael C sets up his sniper behind the hedge. Then they need to set up their stuff, so they are putting order dice in the bag and picking them up. The dice in bag method. Here, Michael C and Michael F forgets that they need to pull out the reserves first, I think. Rookie mistake. He accidentally pulled out 2 there. Yeah, they're messing this one up. That's why you train, isn't it? You should only have the dice that you're actually deploying in the bag when you're deploying dice in bag. Oh, wait a minute. They're not deploying dice in bag. They're deploying first wave, aren't they? So they're actually doing it right. It's me that's doing it wrong. I need to train more. Right. They are just going down with their reserves first. Good idea. Just don't do stuff. Oh. That is 5 of Fie's Vehicles all down. Michael Christensen has also gone down with a lot of his reserves here. That's number 6 dice for the Soviets. That's 7. That is 8 Soviet dice. I lost track of how many Polish, but the Polish are still going down with their reserves. Michael has got 1 more in his reserves. So now we're going to have to see. Right, that is the commissar. Christensen's commissar runs onto the objective. Another of the Soviets. The light mortar team runs up towards the secondary objective, where the sniper is already placed. He's loading up the objectives because he for sure knows that they are going to be pressured by Michael's Polish, all those lancers coming up. Another Soviet. A jeep needs to go on. Right, he makes a run. He's using the jeep here as mobile cover. It's a suicide jeep running up, getting cover behind it. Another Soviet dice. Ooh, that sucks. Christensen places the jeep behind the hill here next to my head. It's not going to do anything all game. It's just going to be there, being in order dice, making sure that he has more order dice in the dice bag than Fie does. Right, here comes one of the stewards. Right. They're checking that he is not lined up exactly along the table, because one of the problems if you're too close to the table edge, you can't turn, because you can't turn outside of the table. You have to be on the table. Now comes the Katusha. Oh, that is a lot of the Soviets going up first. Michael Fie has got to place one of his Polish first, though. No, sorry, Michael Christensen places the second Stuart, again behind the hill here next to my head. The Katusha is left. Oh, this is really bad. Somehow, Michael Fie managed to almost pull all of Michael Christensen's order dice out first. And that means that Michael Fie can now counter-deploy. No! That is insane. That is a 7 dice advantage. 7 dice advantage. Now he needs to find out where he's going to place that Katushka. It needs to be somewhere where it can't get hurt immediately by all those tankettes when they come on. Christensen checks line of sight. He's still deploying. He hasn't actually said I'm done deploying, but he's checking a lot. You shouldn't actually place your vehicle and then start measuring stuff, and then change it again. State your intention and then place. That's the right way to do it. Right. Now we get to see where the Polish deploy. Right, Michael places his howitzer at the opposite side of the Katushka. It's not going to have a huge effect, but it does have a line down through the two woods near his side. This table was set up being a complete mirror, so that no side had an advantage just based on the table. I think it has a little bit too much line of sight blocking in the center, but it is set up to be a competitive table. I would have preferred some of the forests in the center to be a little bit offset from the central line, I think. So the mortar goes down next to the howitzer. That is the MMG team that goes down on the Polish side on the objective. And then we have the anti-tank rifle, which I think I forgot in the army lists. We're playing the fields here as being soft cover for infantry, not as rough ground. That terrain base in the center of the table, it's a ruin. It's really difficult to see from this angle, but it is a ruin. Right now he has a horse tow and a truck to deploy. Again, he's looking for places where that can go down where it's completely safe. It goes down in the corner where we can't see it. The camera couldn't actually cover the whole table here. Then it's the horse tow. Goes down behind the forest. Again, somewhere safe. That was the deployment. We're going to get ready for turn 1, I think. Oh, sorry, that was not deployment. That was turn 1. Everyone running up. No one shooting. No one doing anything. Getting ready for turn 2. Right. There was a short break here because we wanted to discuss the deployments. Turn 2. Here we go. Both of these players are really high strung right now. Michael C, because he has never actually beat Michael Fie, and Michael Fie because he can see that all the objectives are on Michael Christensen's side of the board, and he of course wants to prove that he can beat him. So both of them just laughed about how they were getting heartburn. Right. Michael C draws the first dice. He goes on ambush with one of his jeeps. It can't actually shoot anything, but you can't go down with a jeep. So if you want it to not move, to just stay where it is, you have to go on ambush. Sometimes we make the smallest advance in the world, just shoveling in a little bit. Michael Fie goes on ambush with his MMG team as well. That MMG team is there to be a cheap order dice that can score objectives. It's very clever. Now he puts his horse-drawn limber on ambush again. Again, makes no sense, but it's the way you have to do it. Another jeep's going on ambush, the one that Michael C he's using as cover. The anti-tank rifle runs up to the marksman behind the forest. It's an inexperienced anti-tank rifle, sorry. I think I messed it up completely. Right. It's an inexperienced anti-tank rifle. Again, it's a cheap order dice, and it can, especially against Stuarts, be a threat. You can pin stuff, right? And right now, Michael Fie is pushing it up towards the Soviet Katushka. So, and that might actually be a real threat. The Soviet sniper goes on ambush. Michael tries to shoot the Katushka. No, he can't shoot it. And because he called the shot, he of course fails the shot. But he can measure, even though it's failed. So now he knows the range, which can help him later on. Michael C needs to check the range of the Katusha, because can he actually reach? Now, the mortar couldn't, but could he reach? "72 inches." So he has the range, but I'm not sure he has the visibility of actually being able to see across all that. They're checking line of sight here. Maybe the Katuska can actually see the howitzer without the howitzer's crew being able to see the Katuska. Now, Michael Christensen checks again and again line of sight, and he decides that he needs to go a little bit forward in order to get the shot. You are allowed to actually check your line of sight with your own eyes, but you're not allowed to do so with any aids. So a laser pointer, which he just used, is only allowed once you've called the shot. He does call the shot, and they are within range. So now they're checking range. Yeah. So Michael sees Kazuska can get the two artillery pieces, the howitzer and the mortar, on the hill. Nope. And the mortar? Nope. No hits. The commissar goes on ambush. Another Soviet dice. Wow, okay, that is unusual. Michael C goes on ambush with his stuart. I don't understand that move. Now he's just stuck there behind that forest. He is, of course, saving the stuart for later. I would do that as the last thing I possibly could. Michael Fier goes on ambush with his marksman. The Mortar team, the Soviet Mortar team, goes on ambush. Right, the first of the tankettes. Michael accidentally rolled 3 dice and then he rolls an 11. Right, so the first tankette does not come in. It's still in reserve. Michael gets another chance and he rolls for another tankette. He rolls an 8. That's enough. He runs the tankette up towards the hedges. And another tankette. And again he runs towards the hedges. He's trying to dominate the center here because from that point he can actually push against 3 of the objectives on Michael C's side. They are behind the hedge, so they're not visible. They're very, very low, those tankettes. Here comes a truck with a free squad. Soviets pushing up towards the objective. Michael C is trying to dominate all objectives right now. I think this is a little bit too early. It's not needed to do so this early. He's doing the suicide truck. He's blocking off the objective and then he's dumping his infantry behind the truck. Next dice he gets, I think. He's going to need to do it quickly because Michael now has a chance to pull up a tankette and just shoot the truck and damage his infantry. Here he goes. He tries to do it. The tankette comes on. He needs a clear view, so it's going to be moved, range. Yeah, moved, long range. Fives. He's got 2 shots to get the 5. 1 hit. Michael Fie forgot to say AP, so it's a HE, so it's only a +1. He misses, and delivers 1 pin. 1 for the truck and 1 for the free squad inside it. Oh, that sucked. Well, it's only a +1 anyways. Here we go. Free squad. Yep. They want to do stuff. Here we go. As I said, they are immediately disembarking. They are using now the truck as cover. It'll both shield them as a line of sight. It will be blocked. And at the same time, it will provide soft cover because it's a soft-skinned vehicle. So the free squad disembarks and he puts them in sort of a pyramid shape, like a triangle, more or less, so that the angles to get and shoot at that free squad becomes more difficult. You're going to need to push further out to the side. Michael Fie wants more reserves to come on. This time an 8-man unit of cavalry. It's his lance of regulars. Now these lances are really nasty in close combat. They can mess up most units. But they're a bit of a glass cannon. They can't stand up to sustained enemy fire. He's calculating how much he can move up. Right. He's calculated that around 14 to 15 inches is safe. He doesn't want to get into range of Christensen's Mongolian riflemen. Christensen have 2 units of Mongolian cavalry with rifles, and their special rule is, of course, that they can fire from the saddle as with rifles. Somehow Michael is forgetting 1 cavalryman right there in the open. Michael sees Soviets get a dice. Wow! Look at that. Michael C. runs his Stuart 18 inches forward, over the hill and just straight up. He wants to push that forest. Wow. That was dangerous. It's very, very early. Michael Fie moves his tankette up, running as far as he can towards the forest, and that is a long way. 18 inches. Now he's in the flank of the Stuart that Michael Christensen just pushed up. That is a dangerous position. Right. Short break. Right, terribly sorry about that. There's still a lot of human error in my videos, I know. It's me and OBS. I am not always comfortable using it. Right, here we go. Another 8 cavalrymen comes onto the table. Again, he moves up 14.5 inches so that the Mongolians can't shoot them. Michael C brings in his cavalry, one of his Mongolian units, 10 men, veteran, with anti-tank rifles. It's a huge unit. They move up here. Now, Michael's Mongolians can actually take out the Lancers if he gets the charge. If not, then it's a real problem. He needs to hit first, and he needs to hit very, very hard. But 10 men can damage a unit of Polish Lancers enough if they get the charge off, so that the Lancers' counter punch won't be efficient. Michael C goes down with his dogs. Fie has 1 unit left. He's also got his howitzer left. He runs 6 inches. Running forward? Yeah. Pushing up the howitzer. That making him get him out of line of sight of the Katushka, which is nice. And it's not really needed behind all those forests. Michael Fie goes down with the last of his cavalrymen, and Michael C brings on the remaining Mongolians. They move up into the field. That field will give them soft cover, even though they stick out of it. But simply because it does provide cover, and cavalry are counted as infantry models. So any cover is cover. You don't need to cover half of your infantry models. That's only for vehicles. So, right. They're going to turn 3, and they'll just reset the table and take a short break. I'm just right. Turn 3. Michael C gets the first dice. He shoots his Katushka at the cavalry, but Michael Fie immediately escape moves. So the shot is wasted. I think that was a mistake. He should have shot at one. If he could get a visual on the mortar, that was a better target, because that would mean that the cavalry was not actually targeted. If you're not targeted, you can't make the escape move. So just a little trick. Another Soviet. Do you notice what's really possible right now? Michael Fie's tankette way down here at the bottom of the table might move into the forest and take 2 shots into the side of a stuart standing right there. That stuart can then, of course, it can recce. But that would again expose it to maybe another tankette or the anti-tank rifle. So that stuart is in real trouble right now. It was too aggressive, that move by Michael Christensen. Mongolians are moving out to the edge here. They might get a few rifles off into the Polish lancers. Or maybe even the howitzer. They're being very precise with their measurements right now, taking each individual soldier, because that will determine how many of them actually get off the rifle shots and at what range. Christensen is calling the shot into Fie's howitzer. So that's moved long range. Eight of his guys can shoot. Fie goes down with his howitzer. So 7s. Not a thing. Not a thing. Another Soviet dice. Michael Fie is impatient here, because I think he sees what I'm seeing right now. The opportunity to hurt that Stuart. He's not happy about getting the first 3 dice out red. Right now, Christensen is unhappy about his position on the table. And I think that there are difficulties right now. One of his Mongolian units is way out on one flank, and on the other flank his Stuart is exposed. There are issues here. Okay, Michael has chosen. He moves up his mortar team, taking a shot at the lancers that have already redgate, I think. Yep, he does. He's got the range. And the range is too far for the shot to the closest visible model, so the shot is wasted. That sucked. He didn't move far enough. Another Soviet dice. The commissar moves a bit, opening up for the tank. More Soviet dice. Oh, this is the second turn where the Soviet dice have come out first. Typically, what you'll want is not for your dice to come out like this in the early part of the game. Later game, yeah, you might want to do that. Not early game. Michael Christensen advances his Stuart. Tries 3 up, pivots, and then moving into the forest, I think. Yeah, he just moves into the forest. He hasn't really got a target right now for that Stuart, so he's just setting up for next round. Preserving his forces, setting up, being ready to defend his 3 objectives. For me, the Stuart, yeah. Right now, Michael C wants his Stuart to be more turned, so that it's facing the tankette that's threatening it. I think it should have been in the center, close to the 3 objectives, where he could have pivoted to either side and gotten clean shots and defended the objectives. Right now, it's on a flank where it's not very useful. They're debating the situation here. Michael Christensen's thinking about maybe going on ambush, but that is a bad decision as well. That Stuart is really badly placed right now. He needs to move it. He needs to get out of that place. But how? How do you do that? One thing you could do is you could suicide rush one of your jeeps. making a run move and giving yourself cover, and then giving yourself a little bit of breathing space so that maybe that those attacks will fail when they try to hit. More Soviet dice! No! The Jeep goes on ambush. That is 8 red to 2 blacks, and he hasn't drawn a single black yet. This is insane. This is way off. But sometimes this happens. First black dice. So, here we go. The AT-rifle moves up, takes the shot. Moved, inexperienced, maybe point blank. Michael Reckies. And he turns his front to the... yeah, he can't do that. He needs to be in a better position cover-wise in order to do that. So that is no do. So what does he do? He can't actually do that move. He can Reiki backwards. Yeah, you can do that. And with an escape move, you can make a run, so he runs all the way back behind the hill. Just checking if he still has a shot, but that shot is gone. Michael Fie just... they were debating if he had Rekid down so that he could front and face that AT-rifle. Michael Fie had 2 tankettes, 2 light anti-tank, light autocannons shooting into his side. That would have been a really bad situation. But now he didn't. He just backed up behind the hill. What does Fie do? You can sort of tell that this is a training match, right? They're taking too much time and they're debating moves. Michael moves his mortar, runs towards the center here. That mortar is not needed on the flank. But it might be needed later on. Goes on ambush with his horse-drawn limber. Right, they've forgotten about the stuart and the dice. Once you've wrecked it, you go down. Christensen has 5 units left. Fie still has all his tankettes ready to go. Fie goes on an ambush with his medium machine gun. Another of Fie's Polish dice comes up. The marksman goes on ambush. He's worth more alive than as a threat, because Fie needs him to move towards objectives at some point. Fie moves his tankette up a little bit, not much, and takes a few shots at the truck. Moved force. He's shooting AP. And he misses. The Polish again. Right. Fie moves up. The good thing here is he actually has a shot at the free squad. They are right there behind the truck. He has the angle. And that angle, because he has AG with that autocannon, it's doubled 1 inch, so, and they're really clumped up. So what does Michael C do now? Does he go down? I would. I wouldn't want to get hit here, because it's moved and long range, no cover, so it's 5s. Oh, sorry. Here we go. I'm just doing a break. Right, I'm back here. Christensen makes an escape move. Fie had shot his tankette over here, and now he moves back. And they're moved out of sight. Right, Polish dice. Right, the Polish cavalry moves up. He's making sure, Michael here is making sure that they can't be seen by the Mongols, so that there is no charge if the first dice comes up Soviet next turn. But he is setting himself up for a charge towards the sniper, the light mortar, and the jeep. Soviet again. Regular jeep coming on from the reserves. It's got dogs in it. It moves up along the edge, right down here near the edge of the board, all the way up, getting ready to threaten that tankette. But remember, dogs can't shoot at something that's moved, and the tankette can recce. So any shot will just be for one turn to get the tankette to move away. Polish, and Michael moves up a tankette, and he shoots AP at the Katusha. Long range, maybe cover, maybe not. They'll check. Yeah, it's in the open. So move long range 5s. No hits. Christensen rallies his truck. Michael advances another of his tankettes and shoots at the light mortar team. But he is within 1 inch of his own truck, his own tankette. But the cannon is off to the side, so he actually can do the shot. Now he just needs to have a line. They're calling me over as a TO here. They want to know if the hedges are if it's spaced or if it's just true line of sight. And I'm calling it true line of sight, which means that they can actually shoot. Sometimes you just, it's you need someone else's eyes. So, and I'm ruling here that the shot can be taken. And that means no cover, because he can see 50% of the unit. He can see one man. That's enough for a small team. So it's moved. And here we have an issue, because some bases are flat and extra long, and they become fiddly with the rules, because if you're you don't count the model as lying down, you count it as standing up. But how tall is a standing up model, and should it then be just a round base? It's all fiddly. It's not very clear in the rules. I'll just make a ruling here that they count as standing up. If you've used the large bases, everything is part of the base. But he misses. Another Soviet dice. The free squad moves up. They want to push that anti-tank rifle away and maybe get into a little bit more cover from the side, but now he's exposing them to the two tankettes. Moved, small team, soft cover, inexperienced, sevens. Two possible. Nope. He goes on ambush with his sniper, wasn't it? I think it was. Soviets. The sniper goes on ambush. Oh, it was the jeep before that went on ambush. The final was Polish tankette moves in here. Nope, that's a 10. It is not coming on. That means that we are at the last two order dice of turn 3. Soviet first. Michael still has one unit of cavalry in reserve. And Michael C moves up his jeep with his dog team in it. Michael brings on his last unit of lancers. They are running up towards the forest here on the flank. Right, that was the end of turn 3. They clean up the table and move to turn 4. Right, all the way down here at the bottom, you can see this little holder with a few shell casings. That says it's turn 4. First dice, Soviet. So what do you do here? Christensen could push right now. He could push his Stuart up on the hill and shoot the hole at the anti-tank rifle and the main gun at the tankette in the forest. That would at least take care of those 2 threats, opening up the rest of his flank here. But he could also shoot his Katyusha at the tankettes in the center, trying to maybe get a hit on one of them. He's thinking. He goes for the Katyusha. He moves up, turns. That is... No, I would not do that. He's trying to hit the cavalry behind it, and maybe also the tankette next to it. I don't think you have the range. It's out. Tankette is out. Okay. He gets 3 units. None of them can do anything, really. Nope. Sniper? Nope. Cavalry? Nope. Not a thing. No, I wouldn't have done that. It was worth it if you hit, right? But now that Katyusha is completely exposed. And it's exposed to 4 anti-tank weapons, 2 tankettes, anti-tank rifle, and the tankette right down here at the bottom. The Polish go. Michael wants to shoot his howitzer at the Mongolian cavalry. And he calls a shot. Michael checks. Well, I think he's going to recce here. I think he decides to recce, having checked the line of sight a few times without actually using anything. Because you can't do anything. He has to declare his action before he checks anything. So I think he's going to do the escape move. Inexperienced long range. Right now, Michael Christensen is very much in doubt where he wants to move to, because everywhere he goes, the Polish can actually reach him with one of the tankettes or something, and then start shooting. He's got nowhere to run that's safe. He can move up and give himself cover, and he does. That's the best thing he can do. He makes the escape move and moves up. Yep. Right, the shot fails. The Mongolians go down. Another Soviet dice. Here the steward moves up. And he splits fire, as I told you before. Main gun and Fie decides to recce and to go down, trying to waste the steward's shots. Sevens to hit. Two possible. Nope. Right. Michael Christensen goes on ambush with his Mongolians on the flank. I think that was a mistake as well. Right now, that gives Michael Fier the opportunity of moving his cavalry in towards the center without being shot at, because there are forests in the way. That doesn't actually stop anything. And there was a mortar shot, still no hit. One more Soviet. Now is the time to waste your dice. You need the Polish to do something first so that you can respond. Or you could start like pinging tankettes with your dog teams and making sure that they don't do anything. I'm not sure if this is the right moment though. Could be. What you could do right now is the Jeep down here. If that has dog teams in it, I think it does, that could move up here, and then the dog team could get out right next to the tankette, right in front of it or something. There's of course the lancers to be wary of, but if you're that close, then the tankette can't wreck your way to a place where it's safe. Well, it's still wrecked, hasn't it? So yeah, no can do. Okay. But it's down right now. It counts as down. That might actually be an attack run. That's possible. You could run up here. They could get out. They could shoot the dogs. That could kill that tankette. I think the latest FAQ for the WCC says that a tankette, after it's wrecked, is considered down. Maybe. Right. Michael C. gets another order dice, advances his Stuart. Moving up. He takes a shot at the mortar team right down at the back. He can see two of the guys. He shoots, in order to ensure the range, he shoots his main gun and then the whole machine guns that can actually see. The machine guns are out, so the main gun is it. So that is moved. Long range. 5. He fails. Not a lot of hits being laid down so far in this game, is there? It's been decidedly bloodless. Another Soviet dice. The dice draw has been very, very off. The dogs go out. Moving up. He wants to be in a position where he can push two of the tankettes at the same time, forcing Michael Fier to actually move them. Yeah, he shoots both of the dogs at the tankettes over there. Both of them recce, so the dogs are wasted. And the tankettes go down. Christensen ambushes the truck. A Polish dice comes up. The horse-run limber goes on ambush. There's 7 Soviet dice in the bag left. But most of it is just nothing that can actually hurt people. Commisar moves up to the objective again. Jeep backs up. Behind the hill. Not important. Another Soviet. Sniper goes on ambush. Truck goes down. That's a Polish truck right over in the corner. Goes down. Both armies have quite a few units that are not effective in the game, so they can waste dice. Here we have another ambush on Jeep. Doesn't matter, it's just a waste of dice, right? Ambush on Jeep. Nope, that Jeep moves back, trying to make it survivable. Michael Fier goes on ambush with his medium machine gun. Polish order dice. The sniper moves up, shoots his rifle at the Jeep. Soft cover, long range, moved. 6s. Yep, he gets it. Another 6. Nope. The Jeep takes a pin. Not a lot of shots yet in this game. A lot of moves, a lot of tactical decisions, not a lot of shots. Both armies have a lot of cavalry and ineffective units, so it was never going to be a lot of shots in this game. The Lancers go on ambush. That's just to make sure that they can do something if someone shoots at them, I think. Jeep with dog team goes, it pivots a little bit, or backs up. Polish. Michael Fie moves one of his tankettes up and shoots at the cavalry. This is really clever. Michael is trying to hurt the ability of Michael Christensen to actually contest and take objectives. A lot of players would be tempted to shoot at the Stuart here, but the Stuart doesn't matter. What matters is the cavalry. So moved. There's no cover because you can see more than half of the unit. So 2 hits. Two hits. That's HE1s +1. He hits 5 men. This camera is just really well placed, isn't it? Four dead. And 1 pin. So, Soviet order dice. What? Yeah. 3 Polish, that's all that's left. First charge of the game, the Polish Lancers charge the mortar. That mortar is dead. Michael Christensen removes it before a single dice is rolled. It's 8-man Polish Lancers. That's 16 attacks. That mortar has no chance. No, it's 9-man unit at 18. And he bounces 12 inches. Wow. Right. Michael sets up for next turn. again, Michael is using the terrain here. He's snaking behind the terrain, putting the front guy, the closest guy to the enemy, outside of the terrain so that it can see, so that he has straight lines of attack. But most of the rest of the guys move back behind the terrain where they have cover. That is, and the last tankette now comes on the board. Michael Fee is checking the lines. Where does it make sense to push that tankette? He makes a run move towards the gap between the two forests. I think he wants to isolate the Mongolian cavalry on the flank, make sure that it's not able to move into the center and help out with the objectives. And that's the problem with that flanking cavalry. It's way out on the flank right now. Then he starts thinking about the last dice, and that is his cavalry on the right flank. He moves up. He can stay outside of 12 inches and he can just peek out and make sure that he can charge the truck. That will give him, or he could even like do an indirect charge against the infantry. If he needs to snake around, that's no matter. He'll still win that fight. So, cleanup phase, cleanup. Right, Michael Christensen leaves his sniper on ambush. Right, we're going into turn 5. Cleanup done. One unit dead. Turn 5. Now, lots of things are going to happen. Be interesting to see who gets the first dice here. That could be big. The Polish do. Michael starts with the mortar. He shoots at the Stuart in the center. Nope, he doesn't get it. Right, Soviets. Michael assaults the tankette. And he can do that because they have anti-tank grenades. Right, he needs force. Nothing. 1 and a 3. Right. 1-inch consolidation, so he can basically just stand there and be in the way. Right, he's in the way. Okay. Yeah, there was a tree there somewhere. No. I think one of them moved it at one point. They're not really counting for anything. They're just decorations. Right. Soviets. Right. The Stuart in the center goes on to ambush. He may need it for when the lancers come charging down through that gap. Soviet again. Right. The Soviets have been the first dice for every single round here so far. The other Stuart goes to ambush. Yeah. That should be able to keep Michael Fie at bay here. Another Soviet. Would you shoot the Katusha now? Yeah, I think I would. He's got 3 units again. Cavalry first. He makes it. He advances up and shoots at the lancers. So that's moved range 5s. 4 hits. 2 dead. Fie removes the ones from the back. That makes sense. He can still move and he can still assault stuff. Right, the tankette shoots. Hard cover. 5s. It's into the side, which is good. He's vulnerable. That means it's 6 armor 6 in the side, which means that he should be shooting AP. He shoots AP. Going for the 5s. Does Christensen recce? I think he should. But that will open up for the rest. Oh, 2 hits. Oh. And he doesn't get the kill. He gives a pin marker. He rolls too low on penetration. Ooh. tankette. Michael Fie is moving his tankettes first here, and that's because he wants to open up everything that he can so that he can run up and contest and charge the objectives now. It's turn 5, he needs to be able to move soon towards those objectives. So the shot goes into the Mongolians at the far edge, and Michael Christensen tanks the shots. 2 shots, 1 hit. 3 men, +1. 1 die. And pins. 2 pins. Ooh, that was good. Those autocannons. You're almost guaranteed to hit because you got so many chances to roll that dice, right? And once you hit, you double pin or you single pin, but it's always good. Right, the Mongolians charge. They have anti-tank grenades, but they need 6s to hit now because the tankette has moved. 9 Mongolians. They've got anti-tank grenades. That's actually kind of interesting when you're running them on cavalry. Expensive, but large units of cavalry with anti-tank grenades. 1 hit. Oh, not enough. Nothing. No penetration. He consolidates 8 inches. Over towards... Oh, yeah, well, that's dangerous because the Lancers haven't done anything yet. The Mongolians go back. I think that's another mistake. Sorry. I don't agree with this. The Mongolians are losing their relevance right now. Yes, you are keeping them alive for later, but you're also giving Michael Fie's Polish a lot of chances to damage those Mongolians. Another Soviet dies. I really like the setup of these tankettes. They're coming in at different angles, and that means that Michael Christensen is having a hard time covering all his angles. Some of his stuff, some of his units, some of his vehicles are getting shot on the side. Oh, right. That Katusha just hit the marksman, killed it, and hit 2 of the lancers. 1 is dead, and he hits the lancers again. Oof. 4 of them are hit. Oh, double hit. That hurts. 3 more dead. Oh. Now a lot of pins because the unit has been hit twice. So 3 pins in total, and not enough dead because they die in like 1 dies to the first hit, 3 dies to the second, so not enough to take out half. So the Lancers have 3 pins, but they are not actually needing to take a test to run away. Ooh. That was a good round of shooting. That was really good round. I think the shot should have been taken earlier, but Right. Fie moves up his tankette, takes the shot at the Stuart. That's moved, that's hard cover, that's a 5. No. No. Oh, it's just moved. It's just moved. There's no hard cover. You can see it. And there's no recce. So double shots, or is it AP or HE? It goes to AP. No hits. A 3 and a 2. Right. Ah, that. Right. We get a Polish dice. The horse goes on ambush. Soviets. The truck backs up a bit. Why is he opening up? Is he opening up so that the free squad can get a shot off at the Lancers? But he's also opening up the free squad to a charge by the Lancers, isn't he? Right. Michael gets an order dice, and he shoots his inexperienced howitzer at the Mongol cavalry. He shoots indirectly. He needs a 6. Nope. Remember that Polish one? He goes on ambush with the machine gun. Another Polish order dice. We start out by having the truck go on ambush. Soviet dice. It becomes very important what to do in what order here, right now. Jeep goes on ambush. Polish. Here they go. Rally. Cavalry rallies. Pentagon. Setting up for turn 6. Soviets. Another Jeep shuffles a bit. Polish. Come on, Fia. What do you do? He needs to start cracking open the Soviet defense right now so that he push up for the final turn. They forgot to pull out a dice for the dead sniper. Yep, there we go. Right. Here they go. The tankettes are moving up. That is what he needs to do in order to pop open the defenses right now. He needs to move up and he needs to start pinning or shooting something. Getting the stewards to go off ambush and or recce away or get pinned. He's thinking of his targets here. Checking what he thinks is the line of sight. He shoots at the steward. That's long range moved. Fives. He shoots AP. And he is in the front arc. One hit. He can only pin it, so he gets a pin. Another Polish one. People are debating the assault rules here. Michael is thinking about what to do. He needs to push up, but he starts out with his anti-tank rifle. Inexperienced. Shooting at the steward. Inexperienced, that's it. 4. It's in short range. 4s. Nope. He does not get it. Right. Now the steward only got 1 pin, so the tankette on the flank, it stays behind the area terrain. Doesn't need to move up into a light anti-tank gun. That might be dangerous. The Soviets go on ambush with their commisar. We get another Soviet order dice. Sniper goes on to ambush. Another Polish one. You can always check what the dice count is in the bag. You just have to tell your opponent what's in the bag. That is not pre-measuring. Michael calls a run move for his Polish lancers, moving up, getting ready to have the charges next round, while staying in cover, obviously. He seems dissatisfied with that move. Soviets. Dog team goes down. That was the final Polish one, and then there is 2 Soviets at the end. And the Soviets only got 2 jeeps at the end here. Right, the Polish cavalry. They do have the opportunity here to charge. They can charge the sniper, or they could charge the Mongols right at the edge of the table. Although they may be out of range. I don't think they are, but it's close. Could also charge the jeep. And we also need to check if that Stuart gets... Right. You can almost hear the brain just working away at this problem here. Fie charges the jeep. He rolls for his morale. He makes it. I think the steward hasn't got line of sight. He need 7 attacks. No, 14 attacks. They have lances, and he needs to roll 4s, and any damage will kill the jeep. +3. Yeah, +7 or something, and he rolls a 3, so the jeep is dead. We have consolidation. He does not move. The reason why he doesn't move is because if he moved, the sniper had ambush, so he could have been shot. Now, end of the turn. Triggering ambushes. Small team, soft cover, inexperienced, maybe range. He starts with the steward. Nope. He triggers the ambush for the steward. Nope. And for the free squad. Nothing. Not one. Oh. Oh. That is rough. Going to turn 6. Could be the final one. Could be the final one. Right now, both players are calculating that if round 7 comes, the Polish will win. Going into the last turn. First order dice, Soviet. The Mongols charge the Lancers. He's got 6 veterans. Will the Lancers stay and fight? The Lancers move away. They are betting on turn 7. They have to move away. Taking that charge. 7 veterans with tough fighter. They hit first. They would have annihilated the Lancer unit. And they are just out by a quarter inch. It was a matter of one model being turned with its side to the enemy instead of facing the enemy. Wow, that was close. Next order dice. Lancers for the assault. Free squad shoots as they are coming. Long range, soft cover, inexperienced, he needs 6s. And that's how you play cavalry, ladies and gentlemen. You put it behind cover at long range, and then you charge, and then the enemy doesn't hit with their defensive fire. And here comes 8 attacks from the 4 Lancers. That could be enough to just wipe the unit because they're a tough fighter. Eight attacks on 3s. Ooh. 7 hits. And then tough fighter. 12 dead. He wipes them out. Wow, that was... Oh! Ouch, that's gotta hurt. 8 inches consolidation. Polish Lancers. You don't want to get into close combat with them. They're the ultimate glass cannon here. Yeah, the Stuart needs to go back if it wants to go and hit them, so that's not going to happen. Michael is moving. He sits himself right between those transports, making sure that they'll die next turn, and at the same time that he gets some sort of cover, unless they are moving away. And if they move away, well, his tankette will punish the stewards. Right, next charge. Lancers are charging, and there is no defensive fire because the Mongols are in the way. No. That'll be range. Range, self-cover. No. You're within 1 inch. There's no shot. The sniper can get to try and hit one of the lancers, and then the lancers will chew him up. Right. So one of the lancers die, and then the sniper is wiped. Right. Yeah. And there the sniper dies. Consolidation. 12 inches. That's a long way. They can go down and contest. Actually, they could spread out and contest both objectives right now. No, they can't. Because WTC rules, you have to be dismounted to contest. Right now, Michael needs turn 7. He does need turn 7. He can't win right now. That's very clever. He moves up next to the steward. That will prevent the steward from turning and giving machine gun fire with its hull. So the Polish are actually just blocking the steward off right now. Polish again. What does the Polish do? The tankette shoots at the Mongols on the far flank. Michael Christensen tanks it. 2 hits. That should be about four guys being hit. Yeah, it is. One dice. Ooh. 2 pins. That can be enough. That can fix that unit right on the flank where it's of no use to anyone. Now the tankette comes up. It's all the way up. He should have stayed in soft cover here. There's no reason to drive out. 2 hits, AP. He needs 6s to glance. There was a glancing hit. Crew stunned. The steward is out for the turn. The steward is out for the turn. Oof. This looks like a cascade of bad news for the Soviets here. Here comes the Soviets. And he wants to back up the Stuart, but he needs to roll. That's a 10. No, 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 no. The Stuart needs to back away from the closest visible enemy. That's the Mongols right next to it. And can't turn, so it just has to back up like that. No, oh, that is bad. That is. Both players have agreed right now that the only thing that matters right now is a roll for turn 7. They will get a turn 7, so they continue the game. Right, there's a short break ordering some food here. I'll just... Right. Soviets. Dog team moves up. Shooting the cavalry. 4 shots. They've got SMGs, so threes to hit. 3 hits. Ooh, that could be it. 2 dead. Oh, they need to take the test. They make it. Anti-tank rifle moves up. I think this is a little premature because we've still got 1 dog team. Remember, in this jeep down here, there's a dog team. That jeep can and should move up in a bit and unload the dog team. This is a little too early. Not much, but a little. I think they should do something to prevent that dog team from moving. The Mongols will get a charge order. They've got 3 pins. Nope, they go down. Polish slice. Again, deep thoughts. Right, the tankette moves up to shoot the closest Mongol cavalries. So that is move point blank. Threes. Shooting HE. Two hits. 4 men. One and one pin marker. Yeah, I think the Soviets I think Michael forgot to take one for the dead Jeep earlier. So it's 5-1 now in kills. Polish. I think that there's a slight mistake from Michael's side here, maybe not going into the forest just for next turn. He might have been able to charge away the commissar. But then again, from this position, he could get off his horses and then contest the commissar's objective and take the blue objective over here. If we get turn 7. Right, the tankette shoots at the small team. 4's small team. Two of them are hit. They die. Six to 1. Another Polish order dice. Medium mortar. He shoots at the steward. Nope. That was a 1. The mortar runs along the edge. Maybe it can get a shot off next turn at the Mongols right on the edge there. The truck tries to stay alive, runs away from the enemy. Another Polish. Right now, Michael actually needed Michael Christensen to have the first order dice. It's a question of who moves first with that. Right, so going down. Another Polish going down. Right, here we go again. Soviets. Right, the Jeep moves up. It needs to get out of there. And pivots and runs the rest of the 24 inches down to stay alive. Yeah, that's how you do it. Right, tankette moves up and shoots the Stuart. That was too soon for me. Michael needed that tankette. He shoots AP. Yeah, it's in the flank. Not a hit. Michael Fie only has a truck left. Michael Christensen has his dog team. The commisar goes on ambush, and then there we go. At this point, it doesn't matter, so the truck just goes down. Right. What is that? That is the. What is that? He runs out his dog team 12 inches. He is betting to get the first dice. I did not notice the Jeep down here being moved earlier. Apparently it was. So it's 1 to 6 in kill dice going into turn 7. Whew. First order dice. Polish go first. You know what's the most important right now? The most important thing would be to kill this dog team. That would. Oh, but then again, of course, the assault for the. Yeah. The Polish Lancers assault the Mongols. That is very close. I don't agree with that move. I think the dog team is more important because that can actually move up here and do stuff. The Mongols are already pinned and shot to pieces. 4 hits. 8 men dead. And that also means that the Polish lancers can now not actually get off their horses to take the objectives. Three inches. That is not enough. I think this was maybe the wrong move. Let's see what happens. Another Polish. He shoots the Stuart with the tankette. A lot of things need to happen at the same time, right? Because that Stuart is a threat to his his lancers right next to it. Falls. No hits. That was bad. That was really lucky for Michael Christensen. And here comes the red one. The Stuart needs to shoot now, and it needs to kill a lot of those lancers. Should he recce now? He splits his fire. Main gun towards the cavalry, the small unit, the two-man unit, and the whole towards these guys. He recce's. He moves away. That will mean that it's soft cover, long range. No, soft cover, not point blank anymore. So it's 4. So there goes the main gun on a 4. He misses. Very intense this. Soft cover point blank 3s. Oh, that is a bad shot. 7 hits. Now he needs to roll 4s. 4 dead. They need to take the test. This could be enough. This could remove the unit. They make it. He rolls an 8. He only got 1 pin marker. Now Michael he can't both contest this and take that one. The right thing to do here is, if you can contest this objective, then you should just contest this objective. Why? Because Michael has one objective down here. Michael Fie has one objective down here. That could win him the game right now. But he needs to get off. He needs to get off with an advance move and be within 3 of that objective. And he needs to keep this objective contested at least. The tankette shoots the Stuart. AP. 2 shots. 3s. A 1 and a 2. Nope. That could be critical. Soviets. Michael Christensen pulls his jeeps out of the hot zone. The truck gets pulled out as well. tankette in the center goes on ambush. That might be a good idea, because that might dissuade the dog team from moving up to contest that objective. Soviet order dice. He pivots. And driving up, and taking shots. Right, he shoots at the tankette with the Katusha. So one possible, the tankette is in center. That's it. Nope. He tries to open up so that the tankette can't shoot. And at the same time, he gives himself a little bit of cover, maybe. Right. The Lancers get off the horse. He gets off. And he gets off and takes the objective. Right, the tankette shoots the Mongols, 2 shots, HE. That's 7 inches range. Threes. 1 hit. Yep, 3 hits. No kills. 2 pins. That is a lot of pins on those Mongols now. Another Polish. Yeah, the Polish now have nothing left that they can meaningfully do. Just going down with stuff. Stuart tries to activate. It's got 3 pins. He makes it. He's got 2 pins though. What's he going to do? He pivots. He drives up to kill something. Yeah. 18 shots at the guys on the objective. That was lucky. He needs 7s though. Moved. Moved, double pinned. They are not in point blank. Three possibles. 4 possibles. Not a single one. Not a single one. Michael Christensen is famous for not rolling sevens. Sixes on sixes. It never comes up for him. Never ever. That was his best chance, actually, of winning the game. No, he couldn't actually win the game, but that was a good chance at a draw, that was. Now he's going to need to charge the guys on the objective, and he's going to need to win that charge. Here comes. This one's for all the marbles. Here comes the charge. The ambush shoots first. That is long range small team, fives. And he misses. Here comes the charge. They are hitting simultaneously. Both of them have 2 dice. Michael misses. And the anti-tank rifle dies, and that means that we have a final thing that could be done. I think we have a draw. That was it. That was it. No hit for the final tankette, and we have a draw. Michael has this objective. Michael Christensen has this objective. This objective is also Michael Christensen's, and Michael Fie has this objective. So 2 objectives each, and 7-1 in kill dice. That was the game. Thank you so much for joining me for this game. I hope you enjoyed it. It was intense and long. It was a long game, but that was the practice game. So, see you in the next one. Cheers.